Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, for all of your purchase and pricing questions. Reach out to me directly for pricing, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing a 2021 evolution of the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona, reference 116518, 40 millimeters in Everrose red gold. This watch now includes both an Oysterflex strap bracelet and a Meteorite dial. So, the Cosmograph here, 40 millimeters in diameter, is 12.2 millimeters thick. It's 47.6 millimeters from lug to lug, and 20 millimeters is the spacing in between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you'll see it wears quite nicely. It's no bigger than it's ever been, though it has perhaps more personality with this Meteorite dial. There's a lot going on visually with this watch, but it's not a big bully. It's so short across the wrist that I can recommend it for wrists as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, making it appropriate for ladies as well as men. It is flat enough to fit underneath the cuff, making it a dress watch, sports watch hybrid. Taking a quick look, you can see that the watch includes an Oysterflex strap bracelet. I say bracelet because that's what Rolex calls it. It has a metal band that runs continuously through it, made of a titanium nickel alloy. It cannot be cut as a result of that. It can also never tear. There are several different sizes available. There is the Easy Link 5mm in and out quick adjustment tool, and then you can see that several divots have been drilled inside the clasp, so you can change the anchoring point to fine-tune the fit, because again, you cannot cut the Oysterflex. Now, taking a quick look, you can see, as with all strap-clad Daytonas here, we have this little end link inserted to close the gap between strap and case. That comes from the factory, and while you could, in theory, put this watch on a bracelet, it would require dismantling the case first. So this one was born for the strap. The strap has a little bellows system underneath so that it can give you a bit of play to help cinch down and close the gap and fit if you're not perfectly sized. It also creates a little air pocket that ventilates the wrist. There's a striation down the strap. It tapers like a bracelet. And then, of course, it's a matte finish to contrast nicely with the polish of the case and the clasp. The clasp is thick gauge rose gold. You can see it has a beacon hook lock. You can see it lock there. It's actually a spring-loaded latching system. So you have two different locks. So it's quite secure. Polish as well as satin on the clasp. It's a little curve so you can dig your nail in and pop the clamshell. And note that this head is articulated. You do have to latch and open. It has an articulated unlocking, so even when it's closed, you can't just pull it open. You have to unlock it. Rolex makes its own cases, clasps, and bracelets, and it makes its own gold in its own foundry. This is Everrose. It is forever rosy as a result of its higher platinum content, which prevents fading over time. A lot of rose gold will fade to yellow in time. This will not. It also has more copper, which makes it redder. We have screw-down crowns, screw-down chronograph pushers. Of course, this is a 100-meter water-resistant watch, and you know you're looking at a triplock crown in gold because the center dot is the largest of the three. Bezel, black ceramic, highly scratch-resistant. It has rose gold deposits inside, forming the indices, the numerals, and the characters. The bezel is black and glossy, and along with the sapphire, helps to shield the watch from scratches. Now, the dial is Meteorite. This is what changed. Oysterflex with a Meteorite was new for 2021. This particular watch you see here was retailed in 2022. We have rose gold Rolex crown hands. We have individual indices made of 18-karat rose gold, all of this to match the case, but also to avoid oxidizing and tarnishing over time, as steel indices and hands can lose their luster, but gold cannot. Let's take a quick look. In the dark, there is plenty of lume, and it is Rolex's own Chromolite blue lume, among many other parts of the watch. Rolex makes its own lume. We have black registers on a Widmanstätten etched and preserved Meteorite dial. So the Widmanstätten patterns are created by acid etching Meteorite iron and then preserving it to preserve the crystalline forms that appear. So no two of these dials are ever going to be exactly alike. In many ways, it is a piece unique. Now, inside the case, which you can see is an Oyster case screwed in, you have Rolex manufactured caliber 4130. It was the first Rolex automatic to have a 3-day power reserve, 72 hours, back in 2000. It was the first Rolex automatic movement to use a rotor bearing instead of the old jeweled staff the bearing for greater shock resistance. It is a bidirectional winder with a 4 Hz beat rate pivoting on 44 joules. It does have the 3-day power reserve. It also has a hacking or stop seconds function to set the watch against a reference time. It has a column wheel and a vertical clutch. The column wheel making for crisp operation, and the vertical clutch making for smooth engagement. Now, of course, if you wish, with a vertical clutch, because there's no extra play in the mechanism, you can leave it engaged. So if you just like to have seconds at center, ignore the other chronograph indicators. You can just treat that as seconds, minutes, and hours. The movement has a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance for shock resistance. The free sprung balance also allows for precise adjustment. The hairspring is a blue oxidized niobium zirconium brigade overcoil that is highly anti-magnetic. It also allows the watch to keep excellent time in any physical position, and that is part of the COSC chronometer test, which this movement has passed. But watch like this also feature Rolex's superlative chronometer designation, which means as a fully cased up watch, not a bare movement, it's been tested in 6 positions, not 5, and proven to run no worse than -2 + 2 seconds per 24 hours. That is what a superlative chronometer is at Rolex. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.